Well, welcome to the 700 Club. The federal government shutdown moved into its third day today. Senators are still striving to work out a deal to break the stalemate.
Now they're trying to agree on a plan to reopen the government for a few weeks until they can come up with a longer-term solution. Jenna Browder brings us the story from Washington.
No deal. That is the word here on Capitol Hill after negotiations to reopen the government hit another roadblock late Sunday night.
Let's step back from the brink. Let's stop victimizing the American people.
Talks will continue, but we have yet to reach an agreement on a path forward that would be acceptable for both sides.
Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle worked over the weekend to try to come to an agreement. The latest plan is a short-term fix that would give Republicans funding to reopen the government through February 8th, and Democrats a promise to deal with immigration. Democrats insist any deal must protect dreamers, the 800,000 illegal immigrants brought to the United States as children. Meantime, President Trump has made it clear there is no deal without a border wall. With the shutdown, roughly 800,000 federal employees are furloughed. Workers deemed essential, like air traffic controllers, border guards, and the military, are still on the job but without pay. The Senate is expected to vote at noon today on that short-term fix, though it's unclear if they'll have enough Democrats to help advance it. On Capitol Hill, Jenna Browder, CBN News.
Well, the logjam in Washington is at it again. This doesn't seem to be anything new, though. We've had shutdowns after shutdowns, and it just seems to be a negotiating tactic now. What I don't understand is all the moralizing about it, but I do hope that they come to some kind of agreement because we actually do need a government. While Washington has been caught up in the government shutdown, Vice President Mike Pence is in Jerusalem today. He's been warmly welcomed in Israel, but he's encountered a tougher reception in Arab countries. Chris Mitchell brings us that story from Jerusalem.
There seemed to be more weight to the pomp and circumstance of this visit because of the Trump administration's historic decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital.
This is the first time that I stand here where both leaders can say those three words, Israel's capital, Jerusalem.
Vice President Pence insisted that the final goal in such recognition is peace.
President Trump did so convinced that by recognizing Israel's capital, Jerusalem, that we would create an opportunity to move on in good faith negotiations between Israel and the Palestinian Authority.
Pence addressed Israel's Knesset and says he came with one simple message.
Thanks to the President's leadership, the alliance between our two countries has never been stronger, and the friendship between our peoples has never been deeper. And I am here to convey a simple message from the heart of the American people. America stands with Israel.
In the history of close relations between the U.S. and Israel, Vice President Pence may be Israel's closest friend. The challenge for him and the Trump administration is to translate that friendship into a plan that will move the region beyond a 25-year-old failed peace process. They've had little, if any, cooperation from the Palestinians. President Mahmoud Abbas refused to meet Pence on this trip, and the Israeli Arab members of the Knesset pledged to boycott his speech. But Pence has worked hard to reassure Arab allies that America is the best broker and the only broker in the region that can bring Arabs and Israelis together. Pence announced to the Knesset that the U.S. Embassy will move to Jerusalem by the end of next year. The goal would reportedly be to set up temporary offices for U.S. Ambassador David Friedman in the existing U.S. consulate in Jerusalem before a new embassy could be built within a few years. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Well, we predicted it, that the embassy would open, and now it's happening. It's been officially announced by the Vice President. 2019 will be the date that the embassy moves. And we'll just see what happens here. The explosion that was predicted in the Middle East, that we shouldn't ever recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel without a peace plan, that explosion didn't happen. So Now we've sort of unmasked what the real agenda of the Palestinian Authority, and Mahmoud Abbas gave a speech that literally had people dropping their jaws. It's a revisionist history. It's a strange view of Israel. It's a strange view of the peace process. Curiously, the recognition of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel may be the impetus to finally unmask the whole thing, that this has been an elaborate charade for 70 years.